Welcome to this episode of the Million Dollar Mastermind. I'm Larry Weidel, and before we get started, if you want to know exactly how to win again and again, go to weidelonwinning.com/webinar now to watch something I've put together for you. Now let's get going into this episode of Million Dollar Mastermind. I'm here with Joe Ward, and Joe's in Houston because he's got a major expansion move that he's wanting to trigger from that location. And Houston appeared to be a better location for this phase than Chicago. And so it's fun to get Joe because he's talking to people. He's not only on the attack from a business standpoint, he's really doing more mentoring and speaking with other people and helping to develop more new leaders now than he ever has in his life. And the great thing about that is that he's used to explaining it. It's not, I never thought about that. These concepts that we'll be talking about, Joe has explained and explained and explained it. And so you get it clear, concise, a sharp knife, not a dull knife, when he gives you the answer. So welcome back, Joe. And let's talk. I want to, I cut you off, but this idea of mastering distractions, let's talk about that. Let's put that on the table because we all get distracted all day long.
Yeah, well, you have all kinds of things that can distract you from your overall goal. There's a great book out there that you might be familiar with, and it's called The One Thing.
Right.
And that was a book that I read, and it really helped bring into focus what is it that you're trying to accomplish. And that seems really minuscule, but it's massive. Like, what are you trying to accomplish? See, once you have a clear, concise mental picture, right, as Napoleon Hill would talk about, then it's going to be much easier to manage those distractions that you're talking about, right, and to put on those blinders, because they're definitely coming. They're coming from a personal standpoint as well as a business standpoint. Now, I have this conversation with my wife all the time as we talk about leaders that are up and coming inside our organization. And the thing that keeps most people from winning in business, if you ask me, is not system. It's not system oriented. It is them managing their personal distractions and the roller coaster of their emotions, right? And so the key is what I've learned over the years, by no means with perfection, but remember, you only got to be right about 51% of the time, and you're going to beat a whole lot of people in business, right? So when it comes to your personal life, right, and managing those distractions, that, if you ask me, comes down to time management, right? And it is crucial that as you are, you're driving and you're pushing, to grow whatever organization or business that you are a part of, that you don't neglect the family. But at the same token, you cannot expect to be Mr. Mom, or you can't expect to be the model parent at the school, meaning you're a part of all of these various events and all these committees. You're not going to be able to do all of that and be a successful entrepreneur, because it's give and take. So as long as you manage that balancing act to where you have things that you compartmentalize things in terms of time, and you get everybody in your household on the same page, right? See, everybody in your household has to have the same vision you have. And if they understand that this is for a greater purpose, which is going to enhance everybody's life inside the household, then you're going to start to get the buy-in you get to do at home. Most people don't do a campaign at home. They're doing a campaign on other people all the time that they're trying to associate with in business. They're trying to join up with in business, people trying to catch the vision. But has your household bought into the vision? See, once your household buys into the vision, then you're not going to have all of that back and forth, that seesaw in terms of, oh, I'm not spending enough time on my family, I'm spending too much time on my business. No, no, no. Everybody's on the same page in terms of vision. Now, when you talk about the business aspect, it's just figuring out, listen, if there are 10 tasks, right, in any industry, any business, there's 10 tasks, we're just making this up, there are 10 tasks for your business to be successful. You have to remind yourself that there's only 2 that are going to be the most profitable. So the other 8 can actually be distracting, right? They
Right.
can keep you from propelling your business. And in one of our other segments, Larry, you were talking about like prospecting.
Right.
Listen, if you as an individual at some point, and then through other people, don't have a system where people are talking to other people about what it is that you are offering, your business is dead in the water. But are there some other things as a part of the 8 that need to be done? Yes. But you have to learn as a business leader that they do not have to be done by you. You've got to learn to delegate small tasks. And you have to be the master of the big ones in terms of anything that deals with people in business.
Hey, listen, there's a lot of information online, but there aren't a lot of people who've actually done something. In my case, I've actually built a successful business that's accrued over $5 billion in assets under management and has done well even during trying times. Now, if you want to know exactly how I've done this, go to whitelmwinning.com/webinar now. I've compressed a decade of learning into 5 short weeks just for those of you who want to give yourself an incredible advantage and are tired of waiting and watching others move up. Absolutely. I'll never forget on a call one time, Josh Huffman said, "You've got to know what your primary offensive method is for prospecting." I just thought that I never forgot it. I don't know if he ever said it again. It's kind of like Art Williams. Sometimes you just say things.
And Larry, it can't be 5 things.
Yeah.
I watch people in this generation of our business and industry, and it becomes, as a great coach, you got your plays, right?
Right.
You got your plays, and there are these plays, they can be mediocre plays, but if you are passionate enough about them and you talk about them enough and you reward those who run it and run it successfully, it's going to be a successful play. But what I see the younger generation in our industry do is there's like 5 or 6 things they're doing, and there's 5 or 6 things, and we're talking about prospecting, attracting people, but there are 5 or 6 mediocre things, as opposed to this is what we do. We do it well. We do it intensely. We do it with a high frequency. This is how we win, because then the reason why that's important, Larry, is if you have that, you can take marginal teammates and make them extraordinary because the play does it. Because it doesn't really involve them in terms of their talent. It's the play we're running. It's what we're always talking about. It's what we're training on. It's what we reward. And now you've got regular type of players that go to another level. I'll share this with you. I'll give it back to you. I believe, like my base shop right now, right, in our industry with our company, I got some great people, but I don't have the transcendent leaders that I've had in the past. That just happens with cycles, right? I got some people that'll become vice presidents with our company, but in the past, I've just had people that they were going to be special. It didn't matter where, what organization they were a part of. As it's always said, you don't develop leaders, you just find them. So they were just kind of found along the way. But this organization, which is still one of the top organizations in our company as in terms of my base shop, it's because of the leadership and the environment and the plays that are being run, which takes their level of talent and amplifies it because we're not all over the place with it. We're really direct with what it is we're teaching and where it is we're trying to get them to go.
Let me reinforce what you're doing and let you know the advantage to you and the other leaders that listen to the podcast, they work and expose themselves. They're reading, they're talking, they're improving. The thing is, the more developed and you become, and the clearer we're all working for is so we can see things clearer. We can sort through complex things quicker. But the advantage to that is it allows you to explain it to a less genius level person. A more average person can understand it because you can explain it better. Some of us, and especially, when you start, you kind of understand it and you kind of explain it. And then you have a few people that are just instinctive geniuses and they kind of get it.
Right.
And they come along, and then when the other guys don't, you say, well, that's not my fault. I had one guy get it. Yeah, but he was a genius.
Yeah. Well, and you know what, Larry, that is, I would say, outside looking in, and I can, another leader in our industry, comes to mind as well. Larry, you and Bill Arender have the ability to say the same thing 15 different ways, which means that maybe this person wouldn't get it with these 5 ways, but
right.
They'll get it with the next 5.
Yeah.
See, our ability to communicate the concept to a vast variety of people is our ability to take the organization and move it in a certain direction. See,
right.
We transcend, at a certain point, we transcend the work, and then it all becomes mentality.
Right.
Meaning, there becomes a time when it's not about, did I get a name and number today, or did I make a telephone call? And it becomes, what is my capacity to get another person to understand, first of all, the process and the why behind them doing it, and doing that amongst as large a number of people as you possibly can.
Fantastic, Joe. And I'll tell you what, this opens up the door to something else I want to put in front of you on our next episode. But thanks so much for this. If you enjoyed what you've heard and are dead serious about finding out for yourself exactly how this works in the real world, I've taken the most valuable business lessons I've learned over 40 years and put them into something for you to watch. Go to whiteelementwinning.com/webinar now in order to move up as fast as possible. I'm Larry Weidel, and I run the $1 Million Mastermind. Go, go, go.